Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. It's the end of the night shift. The end of the night shift week. You know, I have to toss in something for April Fools. End of the night shift week right here. Tonight we do a thing we call Real Talk, aka Marlon's favorite night shift show. Yep, best believe. How you doing, one and all? Big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those tuning in radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew across the pond. If you're tuning in, big ups to you. Those on PEMG TV, glad to have you. And anywhere you are right now locked in, especially those who are here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word. I wouldn't even try. Kicking it up with a little Deville and Stone Boy.
Deville, Stone Boy.
This track called Broke Out.
One more time, girl, me swear, say me never leave you. Everybody locked in, but you ain't got me swear, me locked in too. Your body, my love how you move. Me woulda say no one line right there, baby girl. I look by you, the way you go down so. Yeah. Oh, you way so. Like right now when I change, scream the shit. Pull up on more time. My selector rewind, wine. Snapchat never ready there. Folks in the world broke cold. She broke cold. Yeah. She have all your legs and she wanna pass me for on me, boy. She broke cold. Turn up every show for me. Yeah. Wind down for me.
Put it on and I put it on it. The way you wind, girl, I make me on it. No wonder you want me only me. I go put it on you, give me more money. You got the thing for your birthday. Beautiful gift from my baby. Baby, you go killing me one day. To me, you got a bar for me, man, baby. I wonder to figure out what you want. Baby, you know me and they wonder, now me don't take you far. Baby, say I wonder to figure out what you want. Baby, say you killing me slowly. She broke cold.
I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in the moment is priceless. Kevin Stew, PulseMedia.com can help you out. The Pulse Media Group. Give them a call, 754-999-6020. Yeah, I can say KevinStew.com because Pulse Media Group has done so much.
Just make me on. Yeah. Boy, girl, you don't know matter. Everywhere your body go, me too. I ain't never looking at you go, man.
754-999-6020 gets you in touch.
On the ground, just leave the Chanel on me. Take a next selfie. Feel your body next to me. Don't
Or visit them at pulsemg.com.
She broke cold. Yeah. She have my legs and she wanna pass me for no me, boy. She broke cold. Turn up every show for me. Yeah. Wind down for me. She broke cold. Yeah. She have my legs and she wanna pass me for no me, boy. She broke cold. Turn up every show for me. Yeah. Wind down for me. If it's sexy one more time, girl.
Boy, a bunch of people want to broke out right now because of all that is happening in their respective cities and states. You know, this COVID-19 has people in quite a way. And for those of you who don't know, a way is a real thing. You know, Jamaicans say away, and we just know what is meant by it. I know Jamaica is now under curfew, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, the whole country. Not just parts of the country, the whole country.
Feel your body next to me. Don't hold back, just be free. And go from there.
Once again, numbers to get you in touch: 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text. You can jump into the Stew part on kevinstew.com. You can remain anonymous. Not a big deal. One thing is guaranteed: you will not be judged, because it's a judgment-free zone. This is where we try to have acceptance through enlightenment. Big ups to Marlon. Thank you for the history lesson. Once again, Marlon Burrell, the reggae music editor and a host of Real Rockers. Do follow him on social media, Real Rockaz, ROCKAZ, Z, depending on where you're hailing from. So tonight we're looking at the effects of social distancing. And you know, when you look at social distancing, you could say it could only be good for you. You know, this virus is going around and it's just spreading from person to person, and whole countries have been shut down because of it. But what exactly are some of the effects of this social distancing? You know, for the general public, the mental health effects, especially of COVID-19, are quite interesting and quite varied. You know, and because of the sensitivity of how our minds are, how sensitive our minds are, and the sensitivity of the whole issue of social distancing, we don't really look at it as something being that sensitive, but look a little bit deeper. You know, take a look at what is happening in homes as children are now being homeschooled, not by choice, but by mandate. And the parents that can't go to work, either they have to work from home or they don't have a job to go to because their jobs have closed to prevent the spread of this disease. For whatever period of time it is going to be, it is happening right now. So we have these parents dealing with these children who are home. We have these children dealing with these parents that are home. Not being able to associate with their friends and learn in the environment that they're comfortable in, or they have become used to learning in. Then going even further than that, you have those who are the elderly, and how it affects them and their interactions, whether few and whether it is limited interaction or whatever bit of interaction they do get, they are appreciative of their interactions. Then there's a group that is very seldom thought about when you come across things like this, and it is the group that is affected by domestic violence, whether they're currently in it or they have been in it. And some of the triggers that come along with social distancing, if there are any, you know, all these things come into play. You know, the LGBT community comes into play, the prison community comes into play. All these various facets of our general global community are affected. And as individuals, we are all affected. And there's a psychological effect that comes along with social distancing. because as far as I know, we're social creatures. I know I am very much a social creature. So I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm very social, and the thought of just being at home, although I enjoy it, there are times when I want to interact with people. So I've been blessed enough to be able to call up on one of the superheroes of my community. And I have no problems calling her that. She is the superheroes therapist. And I am lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to steal a little bit of her time tonight. And I know there's somebody in her house jumping around in joy right now because I have her for just a little bit of time.
AKA playing Xbox. She said, mm-hmm.
Not calling any names.
Right?
But big up, sir.
Shall remain nameless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one and only superheroes therapist, Ms. Jess Jefferson. How are
Hello
you,
to the
Jess?
people. I'm good. I'm gonna let you know, Kev. Like I have been intentionally avoiding all things COVID, but if you call, you know I'm gonna answer. I got a
I
migraine.
thank
I'm
you.
gonna push through and talk. I'm gonna show up because I think people really need to understand that there are mental health implications behind social distancing. Even
Yeah.
if you're safe in your home, worse if you're not safe in your home or safe in your own skin, there are a lot of implications to our entire ability to cope and how we've been socialized and normalized in our upward conditioning and all of the things that go into like how we show up as people that are generally liberties. And now we
Right,
realize
right.
that there are freedoms that we've taken for granted and now having to adapt to not being able to leave your home, adapting to not like yesterday I was driving. No, it wasn't yesterday. One day over the weekend, I was driving to Trader Joe's at 7:30 at night, and I got there and it was closed, and I was like, the nerve of them. But before that, I was like, the whole mall is shut down. It was Saturday,
Right.
and the whole mall was shut down. Things that we take for granted
Mm-hmm.
that are no longer accessible. Or when I wanted carrots the other night at 10:30 at night, and I went to Walmart and they were closed, and I was like, what in the world? You know, luckily that's like the extent of my real actual problems in this time, but that's not the reality for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we think about, like, we look at Maslow's hierarchy and being able to take care of yourself, food, water, shelter. For
Yes.
those kids who are going to school and their only meal is at school, or if they are already homeless and now they're outside in an unsafe environment because they don't have the opportunity to go to school and get those meals.
Mm-hmm.
Or who have inadequate shelter. Maybe they have somewhere, but they have no water. Maybe they have no power. And while the government is saying they're not going to shut things off, for those who things were already shut off for,
Right.
then
What
what?
happens to them?
Right.
Right.
So there's a population of our community that's just naturally marginalized, that's even further marginalized now. And the margin has become the bottom of the pyramid, if you will, because those who have been living paycheck to paycheck, those there are great things in place, the idea of not having food, the idea of after this 3-day extension, when you can kick me out, when you can foreclose, when you can make good on the contract we made for our lease or our housing, then what? That anxiety doesn't
Right.
go away because a bill was passed. Um,
Yeah.
all of those underlying factors that we don't think about, those who have the luxury of working from home, those whose jobs have made accommodations so that their pay continues. There are people who are laying off 100 staff in one foul swoop because there's no way for them to make money in this environment. They're in a platform or in a market where it requires face-to-face service and not considered essential. How then do you continue on because things still need to happen? I've not heard about free medication. So I can live for free, but if I need medication for my diabetes or for my mental health, these
Right.
things that are in place now help to an extent, but what about like my day-to-day needs and the idea of not being able to meet that? And I doubt in all of this, social services is closing down. I could say without a shadow of a doubt, people's kids are still going to be getting removed. Like, we're not going to stop looking at abuse, abandonment, neglect, exploitation of children
Yes.
and of minors. And the why does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, okay, well, sorry, COVID's going on, but your kid doesn't have anything to eat, or there's no running water in your home, or you have a roach infestation, but the exterminator's not coming out. We got a call. We're here, and we have to do our job. We have, because our code of ethics says we've got to move. So when we look at all the great things, these stimulus packages that are coming out, holding off on these other things, for those who are already in a grave situation, like, it's exacerbated that. It's not gone away. And we talk a lot about domestic violence and about jails and all of these people, but there are people who are already suffering, who are already unwell, who are already unkempt, that now have lost the resources to do well. So, like, next to our office, there is a little office that does, like, upstairs outside of our main office that does, like, 12-step meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you can't have a meeting of 10 people who are in active recovery, who use when they're bored or when they're anxious or when they're overwhelmed.
What happens
the
to
dope
them?
Boys, the dope boys didn't stop slinging dope because COVID's here.
Right.
Like, that's
in
not
fact,
happening.
Business is booming for them at this point.
Listen, like, street pharmacy's never going to die. So when we look at those things, people who were working towards using their job or their income as a positive thing in their life towards recovery to maintaining abstinence and a clear and sober life, or a clean and sober life, taking a fearless moral inventory, going through and righting their wrongs if they're in that particular step, having acknowledged the higher power. Now we're looking at God or their higher power like, bruh, what? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Because the place that was keeping me is closed down. I know plenty of therapists who don't have the ability to move to virtual. Like, they don't know how their infrastructure is not built that way.
Mm-hmm.
And some of their clients won't transfer. So now your income and your ability to reach people are both limited because you didn't have the foresight to have another, not that anybody could have seen the pandemic of this proportion approaching us, but
the when I know you expanded your reach recently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, we in Jersey now. We out here doing big things, friends.
Yes.
Trying to be like you when I grow up.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
With the community that you're familiar with here in South Florida, and those that you are now interacting with in Jersey, is the mindset, is the climate any different as it relates to what is happening now with social distancing? Do you have any of your clients saying, you know what, this social distancing is really affecting me in a weird way? And is it different here in South Florida than it is up in Jersey?
I don't think it's different anywhere for anybody. I think there were people, and as people were panicking, no matter what your pedigree, your education level, like, we're panicking. This is unheard of in our lifetime.
Right.
So people are now, like, working from home and homeschooling, never spend amount of time with their children. Like, they feel like they're trapped in solitary confinement in their own homes. And that's a constant battle, particularly for, like, my first responder nurse clients who are going out into and interacting with this daily, then coming back home and the fear of, am I going to get my family or my children sick?
Right.
Or those who have tested positive and don't have symptoms, or who think they have symptoms but aren't going, or who go to the hospital or are told, because you're not dying or don't need to be on a ventilator this moment, we can't help you. Here's some albuterol and go home and figure it out. Like, the proportion of the news that we're getting as far as, like, what we're seeing versus the facts of how this is affecting people's daily life, the social distancing is really the least of our worries. Like, think about contracting this and being stuck at home with your family, figuring out how to, like, move and eat and touch stuff. And that's for an organism that lives in fat and that transfers from people to people. So your pets are fine, but what about your children? What about how you prepare meals, or your showering space, or your communal areas? You just sit in the room till May? Like, what? How does that work? So there's a piece of that distance that becomes isolation. Even introverts are like, I don't know how much more of this I could take, Jess. I was talking to somebody today, and they were like, girl, you know I'm an introvert, but, like, May, who? Because it's different. It's different to need to, like, take a step back than to be forced. So the lack of choice facing the removal of autonomy and being told we have to do something, it doesn't feel like fun.
Yeah.
Like if you skipped school and went to the beach and your parents caught you going to the beach every day for a month, you'd sit outside on the beach from school start to school finish every single day. It would no longer be fun. And that's how it feels. People are like, I want to work from home. Then you get there, you're like, wait, no, I can't go to the office. I can't go to the supermarket. You know, I can't do certain things. I can't get my eyebrows and my hair done. Like, there are certain things that we want to be able to do that we've lost the freedom to do. And that in and of itself can be crippling. And I see some people like, anxiety is not real. And that's a whole entire lie. Like, the fear of what does tomorrow hold is a real fear. And if that fear causes a reaction physiologically, if your body responds, and that looks like anxiety, of maybe you have rapid heartbeat, maybe you have sweaty palms, maybe you're getting up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, like, that's real. Those are real things. Not wanting to get out of bed because your kids are at the house is a real thing. And it's not because you hate your kids, you hate your life.
Right.
Like, your body is like, hell, what are we supposed to do with this? Like, I don't know. Like, I've never seen a day like today. And trying to, like, really figure out how to move through that without the majority of our coping. So think about what we do for fun. We play basketball. We go golfing. We hang out with our girlfriends. We go to brunch. Like, all of our coping skills for this first world country involve people and being outside. Even the beach, while it's free, involves being outside and people. We can't even go there. So it's not just the social distancing. It's what the definition of and the confines of that look like in this season for us. And worse for those who don't have the ability to not protect and serve, who can't say, oh, well, I'm not coming in. So, like, to the point I've told you before, I am, like, staunch against insurance. Like, I just won't do it. But in this climate, I've had to get on EAP panels. I know people need an opportunity who wouldn't necessarily normally come to therapy, who clearly cannot afford it right now,
Right.
to come and sit on somebody's couch or their couch, you know, virtually. And while they're stuck in the house, let their feelings out, like, be able to have, like, ooh, girl, I'm about to choke all these people in this house. Like, you don't even understand. Nope, I get it. I totally understand. So it's even had to me to shift, like, it's been a shift in, like, my moral compass, because ethically my duty is to serve. Whether I agree with insurance or big pharma or not, my duty is to serve and to show up.
That's
so
right.
I've had to now renegotiate and redetermine and reassess what that looks like for me. And my humanity says, irrespective of what you think about how this works, I know people need the service that I'm able to give. And I know that I can control how the service is delivered within the confines of insurance. Irrespective of what I believe in it or not, people cannot come in this time when they're not getting paid without using EAP benefits.
Right.
In most places, once you've been there for 30 days, your EAP kicks in before your actual benefits your EAP kicks in. Because it's an HR mandated thing. If you don't take your employer's insurance, they still offer you an EAP as a benefit of being an employee there.
Right.
So maybe you're at home and you're depressed, and now, like, you're looking at the bottom of a bottle every single day. Like, oh, by lunchtime you finish the bottle of wine and you don't normally drink this much, but now in order for you to get out of bed, you got to have wine. Like, or maybe, like, you're noticing that you can't get out of bed and you can't shower because you lacked motivation, and your only, like, highlight in the day was, you know, your Starbucks on your way to work to then be productive and change the world. And a lot of our identity is tied to what we do. Like, who we are is what we do.
Right.
Let's think about it.
Yeah.
Jessica, the superheroes therapist, DJ, Kevin Stu, night shift, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about how much of our identity is tied to what we do.
Oh, yes.
That is being stripped from, like, 90% of our population. And they're just mom, or now they're just so-and-so's girlfriend or wife or whatever. So before we even look at, like, domestic violence and all of those things, like, the implications socially of this level of isolation and lack of choice is crazy. If you look at, like, attachment styles and how important it is, even for love languages, to be able to have certain things in place for you to thrive, everything we've had that was a crutch to make us well is not there. Like, things that used to be, like, certain and sure and steady are not.
It's either it's not there or it's threatened.
Right. With the idea of it not being there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's there today, but who knows what's going to be there tomorrow. Like, I was talking to one of my clients, and she works at, like, a really big service industry, and their business is people-facing.
Right.
So they've had to close down because there's people coming into their business. So while she doesn't necessarily serve people in her business, she can't do her job if no service is going on. So she is now, well, I have a job today, but what about tomorrow? Because my kids need to eat tomorrow. My mortgage will still due today. You know what I mean? Like, while there are certain things, and not every mortgage company is saying, hey, you know, take this 90 days off to figure it out, and it'll go on the back of your loan. Someone's saying, hey, on day 91, all 3 months are due. So I haven't worked in 90
Here it
days.
is.
Where am I getting it?
My own story. I spoke to my landlord today, and so I called the company, and I said, "Hey, I'm affected by this also. What is it that the company is doing to help its renters?" And they said, "Well, initially she said if you could pay 90% of it now and then the 10% at the beginning of the month." I said, hold up. So you're assuming that I have 90% right now. You know, how does it work for people who don't have this money to pay an amount like that up front? You know, what is putting place? And she's saying, okay, you know, if you have half of it and you pay half of it now, then the other half is due at the beginning of the next month. And I'm like, you do realize that people are not getting paid retroactively, right?
Right.
But
so even my landlord, like she sent, so normally they slide our bill under our door.
Right.
Well, after she sent the email, she was like, hey, don't forget your rent is due by the 1st. Mind you, I have 3 properties in this place, so I don't have no like lightweight bill. I have 3 properties in this particular location where my office is.
Right.
She didn't ask how y'all doing. We know that we've been ordered for non-essential business to shut down. She was like, here's your invoice electronically. Send me a response back to have an ACH payment drawn from your account on the 1st, or by the 3rd it'll be late. Like, that was the entire tone of the email. Like, who gonna check me? And I'm thinking, you are a landlord that houses maybe 30, 40 small businesses. Like, I know my neighbors' names. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like we're AT&T and Comcast. It's people who are, like, generationally working. People next door to me, like the husband, the wife, and the adult son, work. They've been at my father for 25 years. Like, the guy next door, him and his best friends are in business together. Across the hall is the husband and wife. You know what I'm saying? This is, like, they're all family businesses. Like, there are roofers that are employed by, like, the husband, the wife, the son-in-law, the daughter, and they're running this business in, like, their household. So when that whole business shuts down, where do you want to find a number with a comma in it? Forget just a regular bill, but, like, a number with a comma in it.
Right.
Like 4 figures or better, and you're like, hey, come the 1st, you know, let me know. We've been out of work, air quotes, since like the 13th, 14th.
Exactly.
That's half the month.
Yeah. So, you know, and then they want you. They say, okay. First thing they said though, and so my landlord is a little bit better than yours in that they're saying, okay, we'll extend the late period until the 21st, because I'm looking for information. What is this company? You know, how do they treat their renters? Because again, we've never experienced anything like this. So something like this happening, how far are they willing to meet their renters? So I'm putting all these questions to the representative that I'm speaking to, and she's like, "Listen, we've never experienced this before. All I can tell you is we can do an arrangement for this, and the balance due at the beginning or tacked on to your next month's rent, and then we see what the next month holds." Because, you know, it's all good and well that the government is saying, you know, put a moratorium on mortgage, put a moratorium on rent and interest rate and whatever else, and nobody can be evicted right now, but come the end of that period, everybody is saying, yo, time to pay up. You know, you got
run
this
me
break.
My money. Yeah, like, run me my money, give me my coins. Like, period.
But the people who are paying don't get to go to their employers and say, hey, we gave you this break, time to pay up.
Right, like, not at all.
They're starting from scratch.
Absolutely. And even, like, I was talking to a finance lady last night on the phone.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you know, they're giving out all this money to small businesses. Like, 3.75% in this climate is predatory, period. If you get $100,000. You owe $37,500 in fees.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a small business and you're a 1-2-man show that's been impacted by this, you probably might not even gross $37,000 for this year.
Right.
But your bills, if you're like me and Kev, are running on the first of every month.
There you
no
go.
questions asked.
Yep.
So
like
now
clockwork.
I'm in arrears for that, and then I'm now above my eyeballs. And a lot of these loans, like I looked at the form last night, like they want not just your EIN, but they want your social. They're tying this to your personal, to your person. It's not like, oh, like, because you think about an LLC or these business entities, how they're made to go and they're not supposed to touch your personal.
Right.
They ask very
They're looking
clearly
for
the last
you.
four of my social. Like they are hacking that thing on.
Yeah.
And if you're not reading the fine print as a business owner, and that, like, and I know I'm completely just derailing your thing about people in domestic violence.
Oh no, no.
But like when we think about
it's all encompassing. It doesn't. Domestic violence is just a part of it. You know, it's all encompassing. Just how people are dealing and coping as it relates to this. And the social distancing is only a part of it, but it is that part that is causing a lot of the debt that people are facing. Because
absolutely,
if we're not in it as yet, believe me, it is coming, and it is coming for what 90% of the country.
Right, and that's scary.
Yeah,
because I imagine in my head people going back to their jobs at mortgage companies whose houses are also in foreclosure, calling to advice miles of their houses in foreclosure. Like I noticed the ripple effect, and it's going to be hard to do certain positions and want to stay on your job when now you feel the pain of those who you're infringing
exactly
upon. And I understand that, you know, you buy a house, you agree to make a payment on it, you know, whatever, but you can't predict life. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't think they really exist. Like, so I couldn't have seen 2020 April 1st when I purchased my house, April, May 2014, 2015, whatever year it was. Like, I couldn't have seen what was going. I didn't have that level of foresight.
Right.
I didn't have the idea that, okay, I'm about to be pregnant and deliver April 12th, everybody in the hospital dying, and this is the airborne, like, touch thing. Like, what about my baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these different levels of stuff that we don't think about.
You know what? To be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about the pregnant mother that is about to deliver that newborn. Here it is. Someone commented in the stew pot and said, "Hey, my landlord came for her rent today." Forget social distancing. I'm coming for my rent.
Hello, you got my money? You got my money? I'm going to call BSO. Like,
and
or like people who we would look down upon, like janitors who are out here saving our lives.
Yeah.
Sanitation workers coming and picking up our trash. People at Walmart. We talk so much cash money garbage about Walmart. Walmart is the only place without a line. I went to Trader Joe's today to pick up something. I needed my face cream. I parked my car and I walked out, and the Trader Joe's line wrapped around the building. I was like, my face can be moisturized with air. I'm getting back in my car. I don't have time for this. Like, I'm just not.
Right.
I'd rather sit in my house and just wait. I'll pray that I sweat and make my face moisturized. I'm not doing it. Like, that's crazy for an $8 bottle of face cream. I'm not. But there are those who are willing to stand in that line. You didn't think about, like, even in this, like, where is my time is still valuable. I don't have 45 minutes to stand in line for Trader Joe's.
The other thing to kind of look at is moving out of this, going back into, let's call it normalcy. Yeah? And the people who, let's say I am going to be evicted. Who does my landlord think they're going to get into my house? You know, everybody is facing the same thing. You're going to evict me to get who that can pay the rent?
I went to the office today. I go in some days to work, like when people who are working on their licensing to see clients.
Right.
And there was a brand new leasing sign. I'm like, this lady got some like nerve. Like in this financial climate, you trying to lease a building out, ma'am? Stop. Commercial property
What?
tax stopped for that day.
That's crazy. That doesn't even start to make any kind of sense. Not even nonsense. Come on. You know, these are the things. People in spite of all that is going on, people are still looking past the individual and looking towards their bank accounts.
Right.
In
But
this time?
what I will say though, and I can speak only for my industry, that's all I know. I will say that I have seen a plethora, like 90% of my therapist social media friends and those that I know, creating packages, incentives, slashing their fees, creating shorter amounts of sessions. Maybe instead of a regular session, you get a half an hour session and it's at a discounted price, or virtual sessions on mindfulness and deep breathing and dealing with your kids.
Yeah.
And I've been personally involved in sending out like these like Pinterest boards on things to do at home. I have my clients like making like little like glitter jars with their kids, and they shake the jar up when they're antsy. They have to wait for the glitter to fall down for them to kind of do their next movement, helping them really adjust to being at home with their families. And a lot of what we're doing right now is pure psychoeducation. There is. Sorry, my husband's talking to his Xbox friends and confused me. I thought he was talking to me, so I wanted to stop talking. Like, he thinks I'm trying to work, but I'm busy. Like, I'm out here trying to be great in these COVID streets, and he's playing Xbox. Look at me playing.
But you know, that's therapy for him right now.
Listen, he working my nerves, bro. He working my nerves. Every single last one of them.
And that's the other side of it too. The couples that are spending a lot more time together.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a lot of babies or a lot of divorces come when we get out this thing.
Yeah, I was a part of a panel this past Sunday, and yeah, it was a panel, but everybody was feet apart. You know, practicing social distancing, safe zoning, whatever. But one of the topics was, one of the areas of discussion was that lawyers are getting more requests as it relates to divorce. They're getting contacted about divorces even more. My thing is really whatever is happening was happening, but prior to this, it just so happens. Yeah. It not because of this why it is happening, but even though people want to blame it on this, let's okay, fine. So people are spending a little bit more time together and finding out that the person that they're with is just not working out. Good. You should have been spending this time together from before. You know, why wait until now?
I don't know about like full work days, like because this 24/7 thing. I mean, I love this little boy next to me, but just need a break. I need to come up for air every now and again, like. Because he has an opportunity to be silly with his friends at work. Usually, we'll be singing. So I call our living room our co-working space now. So if I'm not physically talking to a client, I'll be in here while he's working.
Right.
And your boy is a chatty Cathy. Talking about everything under the sun. Like, and I'm like working. Like I am trying to get these bills paid, get this bag. And your boy is in here just chitty, chatty Cathy, just talk it away. So aren't you working? Like, but yeah. I just thought I would say real quick. And the crazy part is, on a regular, I'm like, babe, talk to me. And I was like, when he goes to work, he was talking the whole day. So he gets me tired of talking.
Right.
But now we're together. He has an opportunity to kind of tell me what's on his mind throughout the day, which is very cute, and I appreciate it. I'm just not used to it. So when you have to now go through and adjust your relationship to deal with all parts of your partner,
right? If
it's parts of them that you weren't okay with or fine with dealing with, it can be unnerving. Like when I'm working, I am working. Like if I just need I need to be doing my work. And my husband is one that needs to have like intermittent breaks. And that's okay for his work style, but for my work style, those two don't play well together.
You're all in. Yeah.
Listen.
I get it.
But then also so my husband works in business IT, and he gets a lot of slack on his job for his call time, his handle time, things like that. And I was able to sit here on Monday and watch how he dealt with people who were calling in, other small business owners, and were like, hey, I've got this thing going on, I'm worried about my money, and how he just took time and care and attention, things that his outcomes would never measure. He would never see, oh my gosh, Mr. Jefferson was caring, compassionate. Mr. Jefferson took time out to soothe somebody who was in duress about their business. Well, his handle time was over what it was supposed to be. And I was like, well, what they're looking for is not the measure of who my husband is. My husband's a caring, compassionate, serving person.
Right.
So while he's doing the right thing by our moral compass and our moral code and our ethical guidelines, it's not necessarily being acknowledged by his employer.
Mm-hmm.
And up until like 2 weeks ago, I was like, get your hands time together, bro. What you got going on? But then now watching him, being able to experience him in this way, I'm like, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And eventually the right thing becomes rewarded. So I'm not going to tell him, not to do whatever. So there are benefits. If you don't know how to manage your relationship, if you were already on rocky ground, if you was already in deep, dark waters,
Right.
this thing is like throwing kerosene on a fire. It is going to blow it up. And if you don't know how to ask for help or to emotionally regulate, to deal with that, or to be able to say, hey, babe, so I've had to learn this week. Babe, I'm working. Because he'll turn around to me, he'd be like excited to talk to me. And I don't want to be like, boy, shut up. Because I enjoy him speaking to me. Like, I enjoy him, like, wanting to turn around and say, hey, babe, while you're here, I thought of, like, I like him inviting me into his world.
Yeah.
So I've got to be very, very cognizant of how I respond to what he's saying to me, or how I non-verbally respond. So I might say yes, my face might look at him like, ugh, why are you talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
So like I've got to be very conscious of my verbal and non-verbal responses, because I'm not on the phone with him. I'm not traveling. Like, he's literally, I can reach out and touch him. Like, we are not even 6 feet apart. So he can see that I'm looking at him like, boy, why are you bothering me?
Right.
And it's not a bother. It's a beautiful experience to be able to spend this kind of time with my husband. But if I didn't have my own therapist, if I wasn't working on justice, if I wasn't like really putting in some work, we would be living in 2 different rooms right now. And luckily we have 2 different rooms. But for those who are living like 1-bedroom fishes with 8 kids, like, where are you going?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that because of toxic relationships that may not have been viewed as toxic before, because, oh, well, he was getting the bag. He was my sugar daddy. I was getting my hair and my eyebrows done. Or he thought that she had like silky straight hair, and now her taco meat is growing out the top of the front of her head, and she can't lay that thing down. So now you got yucky, silky straight and taco meat, and your eyelashes falling off, and your waist trainers up because you been eating snacks all day long. I thought I married a baddie. You shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, not a 2 liter, not a bottle, and now I'm looking at you crazy.
Right.
So if there was no substance prior to this, if there was just kind of like, okay, well, he brings in money, she's cute, and that's the depth of your relationship, or like y'all was Instagram famous, TikTok changing y'all outfits, now you got to talk.
Okay.
What you going to do? You don't have any,
Yep.
There's no substance there. What are you going to do? If you're only touching with your child, but sending your kids to school and reading homework, but you can't do basic math because you failed out of school, how are you hoping to do Common Core? So now all y'all still in the 3rd grade again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because now we're left to our own recognizance. We're left to our own devices
Right.
to figure this thing out. And most of us are not teachers. Like, I got a master's degree. I'm in the top 5% of the nation education-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do Common Core. So if I'm in the top 5% of the nation, I'm looking at Common Core, like, why can't we just carry the one? Like, what was wrong with carrying the one? Like, what was the problem with that? Like, the one who should carry the way better.
You're no
But
longer
that's-
smarter than a 3rd grader.
Or a 2nd grader, like, or
Yo,
Common Core.
it's-
Like, I gotta be sitting down playing with finger paints because that's my level, and I'm okay with that. But I don't have children that I have to tend to. So when you go through, you compound all of those things.
Yeah.
And maybe something as small as poor communication about dinner, like something tiny small, like not poor communication, or just maybe about dinner. Like, what do you want to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to go to Red Lobster. You can't do that. Why? Just what I want to eat, and that could turn into a whole argument.
Right.
Because maybe it was a genuine question. Like, maybe the question that I really wanted to ask was, hey, I've got chicken and I've got steak. Do you want quesadillas or do you want steak tacos? But I asked you from what I know to normally ask, what would you like to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Your response was Red Lobster. I then felt inadequate, or like you were being sharp or short with me. And because I didn't have the space to kind of cool off and cope in a different manner, we're now in a full-on, because your mama can't cook, you want to eat out. And your mama don't have no edges. Like, and we've gone into, like, below-the-belt conversations. Because what I meant to ask you was, did you want a quesadilla or did you want a taco?
Right.
And what I asked you was, oh, we're stuck in this house and you can't leave. You're stuck with me and you want Red Lobster. And I can't make lobster biscuits. I don't have, like, Red Lobster for some reason has the best Caesar dressing on the planet. Like, I don't know what they do to Caesar, but their Caesar dressing is the best on the planet. And so you just want, like, Red Lobster Caesar salad. If it's 9 o'clock at night, even if they were open, you couldn't get it. So, like, looking at all of those changes, those things greatly impact our daily functioning.
Yeah.
Like, if your Wi-Fi goes out right now, you may
Dead.
catch a case. Like, you may catch a whole case.
Yeah.
Because what do you have to do other than TikTok? I spent the other day, I downloaded TikTok, and I literally spent like 3 hours laying in the bed, like laughing, like visceral, guttural, like I almost got 6-pack abs laughing so hard. And on a regular day, Cub, I would never.
Right.
So I'm sitting here, like laid up in the bed, like cackling, like tears running down my face, like laughing. At TikTok. If I didn't have data and my Wi-Fi went out, I'd be done burnt some stuff down. Like, it was my only release for the week of just stuff and heavy with my clients and work and everything else. And that was kind of like my just little veg, my opportunity to kind of like tap out. Had my phone died, I'd have a charger, it would have been a problem. Like things that you normally don't think about.
But
and
no, that's the reverse that people are facing that who normally go out and work. You know, you are taking a break from work. They don't have a choice. They're on mandatory break, and no end in sight. They have no clue what is happening. Here it is today. Governor DeSantis is saying, okay, Florida, the state of Florida, all non-essential businesses, close your doors. You know, now we're not leaving it to county by county, city by city, or whatever. No.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. This is what we're doing. Because we need to take care of this. And so now everybody is like wide-eyed and going, what the? So,
and I think also, like, as America on a whole, like, we feel like we were, like, superhuman, like...
Yeah.
Babe, what is the thing that... what is Flash?
Flash?
We think that we're meta-humans. So Jesse loves sci-fi. So we think that we're metas. We're not, like, we're impervious to death. So, like, people out here golfing, like, ninjas, this is a touch-sensitive, fat-soluble thing. Why are you playing in golf clubs and golf carts? Like, sit your behind at home.
Here it is.
You don't need to be out in these streets. But we're like, well, you know, I got gas money, so who gonna check me? Well, the governor. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
A friend of mine sent me a message last night, and she was like, hey, listen, there are people out here playing basketball. There's a little basketball court right outside of our unit. And she's like, there are people out here that I've never seen socializing with all these kids and their parents, and everybody's out here playing basketball. Did they not get the memo?
Listen.
And I'm like, what you gonna do? And she's like, is there anybody that you can call? I said, call court enforcement. Or call the cops. You know.
They're not coming in, not for that. Like, they're trying to social distance as well.
Exactly.
It's tough. I couldn't imagine having, like, littles. Like, anyone younger than my husband in the house, because he's a littles enough for me. Like, anybody other than him. Like, he's already been going stir crazy. Your boy done barbecued like 13 nights in a row. Like, we done had barbecue everything. Because he just need to get outside. What am I telling him? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not an outside person. I had found myself, we have like this swing he built me outside. Yeah. I thought on that swing like a little kid at recess. Like, ooh, it's time to go outside. Like, I can't, I'm getting my vitamin D. And normally, I only touch outside to get into my vehicle, period. Like, I go outside to get back inside.
Right.
There's no just stopping outside for stuff. For why? That makes no sense. So I literally go outside to get back inside. I go outside my house to get inside my car. Like, it's very simple. Like, it's very, very clean cut. I go into the outside to get to the outside. And I've been outside, like, all my swing, chilling. We went for a walk. We lived in our house for 5 years. We have never, in the 5 years we've been here, walked our entire, we live on a beautiful lake with this great scenic path. We have never, you hear me, ever walked the entire thing. Other than that, let's go for a walk. We walked for a whole hour and change. We ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
We in the house working out. Jesse done pulled out like these weights, and when he goes on break, he's in the living room lifting weights. I got a little step elliptical. Like, we out here like trying to get our summer bodies back to 2003. Not even last year, 2003 summer bodies. Like our high school seniors. Like, we out here trying to get summertime fine for the summer. Because when we go outside, when we get to leave the house, we gonna have long hair, thriving, glowing skin, thriving. Like, we coming out this thing amazing.
Yeah.
Other people don't have that opportunity. Like luckily, we have a fairly healthy marriage.
Yeah.
It's not as stuff like everybody else. But not everybody's in that position. Like, and we talk about not like domestic violence, people who have people who are verbally or physically or sexually abusing them or emotionally abusing. Like, let's just go just to financial abuse.
Oh,
Because the other stuff is bad, but if
yeah,
you
that's something that
can't
we don't
get
look at
out
very often.
financially,
Yeah.
and now financially you're stuck, and the abuser has that level of power and control over you, it's beyond now safety. It's now survival. I know people who like to get beat. They're not in like actual DVOs, but they actually like to get beat and choke and get their hair pulled and stuff like that. But they also have the choice to go out and say, "Hey, I'm going to buy, if I want to have a Wendy's 2-5, I can have that." When you're being financially abused, you don't have the liberty to pick up and go. So financial and verbal abuse generally they go hand in hand. That's kind of that power and control cycle that
Right.
we talk about, like these black eyes of domestic violence. We talk about like sexual abuse, but there's so many other levels to being unsafe in your living environment that we don't touch on. And worse, we don't touch on that there are more female batterers and aggressors than there are men. Even though men are less likely to report, there are those who are the woman, the wife, the whomever, who are the financial abusers, who are the verbal abusers, who are emotionally abusing people. I have people who have come in who's like, "Hey, my wife told me I'm never gonna be nothing," and that lady jacked up this grown, well-to-do man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
What?
only the women who are
Jeez.
out here being abused and being dogged. Like, we be dogging our dudes, not me, because I
Yeah.
love mine. But you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's folks out here dogging good men,
Well, they'll tell you that
and
they
they're only
love theirs
talking to
too.
right. Well, that's different.
Well,
Not that kind
they
of
love to
love.
own them.
Yeah, that's different. We passed slavery. It's 2020, the year of Jesus Christ. We're not doing this. We not not in the year
Well,
of our
we'd
Lord
like to
and
think
Savior.
so.
We not doing it in the year of our Lord. But there are those who will misuse someone who has been given to them as a gift because you don't know how you never had nothing,
Right.
and it's not necessarily intentional, but it's still malicious and it's still bad. It's still unhealthy. And I read this book my husband had. It's called For Men Only. And it talked about the need for men to be respected in their homes. Like that how important it is for the voice of a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other to really value them and how they can go out to work and be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company and bring in money. Everybody wants to be on fun and GQ. And their wife can say one coarse word or one unbecoming word that will tear them down. And the
Right.
rest of it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
now for that man who may be Instagram famous, who may have this great social media platform, have this start business, have money in the bank, and his needs is words of affirmation, he's not thriving throughout COVID. He may be financially stable. His business may be booming. He may be out here becoming like this mogul and creating videos and platforms for people in order to like have their businesses thrive. But what he needs to do in order to thrive personally is not have because of an interpersonal relationship that he has with somebody else. And we don't look at those things. We really have been looking at the financial implications and the social as far as distance, but not necessarily the actual, like, the emotional, like the biopsychosocial implications, the spiritual implications. Those who have an opportunity to leave unsafe places to go to their house of worship. Those who their safest person not throughout the week is a house of worship, who doesn't translate well into watching it on my cell phone or on Instagram or on my television because it's being live streamed, that needs interactions. For those who thrive with hugs, for those who have grandparents who are older that they just kind of drive by. So my husband's father has had some medical issues, and he's in a facility like getting treated to kind of be able to come back home. And they shut the facility down to visitors like the 1st of March. And my family, he's in Maryland, my husband and our family is in Maryland, and
Yeah.
they went outside of the facility and wrote signs that say, "We love you, Pops," and like literally were screaming. They called the nurse station, had the nurses open the window and like wheel Dad to the window. They could just tell him that they love him because they haven't been able to hug him for a month.
Right.
Because as an older person, you're higher on the immunocompromised list. But as an
Exactly.
older person, you also need socially more interaction. Like depression among the elder people is a real thing. Suicide among older people is a real thing. And we just think, oh, well, you're old, you've lived long, you've had this great, fulfilling life. You don't necessarily need that. And I watched the video and I cried. I tell you, like I cry like that big ugly after you get beat, like that snot when you put your hand across your nose snot.
Right. Right.
Like I cried. Because I was like, man, who would have thought in the age that we can reach across the world with our cell phones? but we can't reach across the couch and touch somebody. Like, think about that. I can reach.
Yes.
This video can reach somebody in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
This live cast can reach somebody in a prison, as we've seen before, right?
Right.
It can reach places that we would never physically touch. There are folks who can't cross Flamingo Boulevard and go talk to their parents, their grandparents. People who are going to funerals for their loved ones that can't have people show up. Like, we had some death recently in our social circle, and it was like, hey, well, we just can't have like a full-on funeral. Like, we can't do that. We still got to bury people. People got to be buried. We got people just stacked up, taking up the space that we're going to need for COVID bodies at the funeral homes.
Right.
So we have to be able to have, funerals and celebrations of life. But those things are very social things. You find comfort in other people being there in the absence of a loved one. So think about the construct
That's just it.
of...
No. Just yesterday, two friends of mine, their mother died. Just yesterday. And one is in England and one is in New York. And their mother is in Jamaica.
New York can't leave nowhere. Jamaica done been shut down. Jamaica was like, who coming in, not from foreign? Y'all sit down wherever y'all at. Like,
exactly. So here it is. My friend in Jamaica, his sister is in New York, and their mother is in Jamaica, and this woman died yesterday. And you're going to go where to celebrate her life? With which family members?
They're going to be on Instagram Live because WhatsApp only has people on the chat. So, like, you got to be on Instagram. You got to be in Zoom. And speaking of Zoom, while I appreciate all that they're doing, I was trying to do telehealth on Monday, and Zoom ran out of links. It says, we're sorry, there are no links available for your meeting. Say what?
Yeah.
Like, so with everyone now switching to telehealth, while it's an option for my business and I now, who's to say, in a week, tomorrow, in 3 months, that's an option. We've had to make some very wise financial moves to be able to avoid that particular barrier. But there's barriers popping up every day that I have no foresight to plan for, and I just don't have fluid income to fix it and to make it work. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
And worse, we're not going to therapy in this time. Like, what are y'all doing? I mean, I saw my therapist yesterday. I'm going to therapy. Like, I'm going to stay well, period. Like, my nutritionist talks to me. My personal trainer talks to me. Like, we are going to be well over here in this camp.
Yeah.
But not everyone is doing that or thinking to say, hell, well, I didn't get out of bed yesterday. Or I want to choke my kids, but, like, not figuratively, literally.
Yeah.
You need a therapist. You need to get on the phone with somebody. And even if I'm not the therapist for you, there are people out here who can serve and who are, like, getting their skill set to be able to serve via telehealth. A lot of people don't do telehealth. So it's not developing a new skill set. Luckily, at my practice, we already do. Our first is already telehealth, but a lot of people don't do telehealth. People still have, like, real-life fax machines, like AOL dial-up fax machines, like like press-button fax machines, like I only work via fax. What? You never heard of cam scam? But nevertheless, I digress. But people out here, like, there are, like, real live barriers,
Yeah.
that we're not addressing. And if we don't have the emotional intelligence or the space to hold for something as simple as an interruption in the middle of the workday from your husband who just wants to tell you that he loves you, like, and most times it's just like, oh my gosh, babe, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, because I want to be, like, rolling my eyes, like, oh, that's really sweet, thanks, babe. Or, like, thanks for grabbing me some water. Or, like, Monday, I made fresh apple juice for him.
Right.
Oh, wow, thanks, babe. Like, the little stuff. I made his lunch, and he wanted a sandwich. I was like, you want a sandwich? In the middle of the day, I stopped my work. I went and made him a sandwich. But, like, he was like, thanks, babe, like, 10 minutes later. And I wanted to say, why did you wait so long? But I was like, well, he was on a call when I gave it to him. And now that I'm busy, it's not that it's no longer relevant. So even for me as a whole therapist to figure out how to adjust and respond well to the man whom I love, you know what I mean? So I didn't have those skills, and if we're not now looking in a time like this to gain those skills, if you're not with your kids and you have an anger issue, get an anger therapist. You need parenting. This might work with you with parenting. Like, your kid's on an IEP and you don't understand why until last week because now you want to wring his neck. You need a parenting course. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need somebody to help you navigate through these uncharted waters.
Right.
You need an opportunity to figure out what the heck mindfulness looks like for you, because mindfulness you can do anywhere. Like, I don't need not nobody's store, nothing. I can stay on my house and be on the beach in Tahiti and, like, in French Polynesia. I can close my eyes and get there. but I know how to take a journey into mindfulness. I know how to do breath work. I have skills that transcend me going to the salon.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those skills and you're stuck in the house or stuck in your head, even worse.
Well, that's where the majority of us are.
Oh my gosh.
Because the majority of us don't have, either they don't know how to get in touch with a therapist, or they have never gotten in touch with a therapist. Thank God I have gotten in touch with one. And you, even you as a therapist, you have a therapist.
Absolutely, because the stuff that I deal with every single day, I gotta start to put that stuff back down. Like, I gotta go through and be able to be, because regardless of anything that any of us are, we are humans first.
Yes.
And as much of a superhero as I am wholly human. I am 1,000% flaws and all a human. And I need space to let some stuff down, to process, to work through some things. And I need somebody to hold the space for me.
Right.
To tell me it's okay to let go of XYZ friendship. To tell me, you know, it's okay, you know, to feel, so it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. And it's okay to be happy. Like, I'm really happy to spend time with my husband like this. As much as it's under the worst circumstances, like, we have had such a good time over the past 3 weeks. Like, we have just enjoyed each other's company like some little kids. Like, I feel like I'm on spring break at school. Like, I've been video chatting my friends on WhatsApp in the middle of the day. Like, I've really thoroughly had an opportunity to enjoy this time, to slow down. I know it's not everybody's story.
Right.
But just being able to, because I've been to therapy, not just some therapists, I've actually go to therapy. I can say, hey, well, I can reframe what feels bad, or like look at it from a different colored lens. All a reframe is kind of finding the good in something, finding the silver lining in a cloud, if you will. I can reframe things that don't work in my favor to a vantage point that I can tolerate. But that is through having a therapist, being a therapist, having therapist friends, and willing to grow and evolve all of the time.
Yeah.
And the majority of the population of the U.S. does not have to grow and evolve or adapt daily. And this is a new skill as adults we're having to learn how to use and to integrate that has not been what we've been using before. So if you were emotionally unintelligent before this, if you were emotionally tied and your only source of joy or productivity was your job, and now your job may not be a thing, who are you outside of this role? And if that role is all that defines you, what got you through your childhood trauma, and your children are seen and not heard, and now you're seen and heard, but now you got no platform to be seen or heard on because the mic shut off and there's nobody open the club for you to do what you got to do, like, then what? Because now who I am is gone. My why is gone because I'm so focused on external things, and now that I'm stuck in my head, it's dark and lonely in here.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in your house, you're stuck in your head. Let a therapist in, let your feelings out. Be okay with saying, hell, I'm scared. Like, I don't know. Like, I have kids that depend on me. Hell, I depend on myself. And I don't know what to do or how to go. Like, when my clients asked, how are you? I was like, well, you know, I'm okay. And she was like, and I told her, like, where I was at with as far as, like, coming outside and stuff. I was like, I don't know. She's like, wow, that's really great. Thank you for sharing. And I was like, girl, before I'm anything, I'm a human. Like, don't ever get that twisted. I'm a whole human. Like, so the same way your livelihood has been affected, mine has as well. You know, maybe not as greatly as others. Thank God, you know, that we still have like provision and income coming in, so I can cover my landlord's bill without blinking an eye. I can cover the things I need to do to change to make my business adapt and grow. But if we were a business that was living check to check, or a family that was living check to check with no other income, that would not be our story, and that is the story for a lot of people that I know personally.
Yeah. Because I was talking with someone today, and they were saying, you know, what we've come to realize is that even some of these big businesses are living check to check, just like their employers, just like their employees.
And that's what the finance lady says. She's like, you think your landlord has had tenants for 25 years. They can't make 1 month without getting their payment. Like, what kind of financial situation is your landlord in?
Right.
So I was like, we were just talking like candidly, and she was like, after 25 years, that's an investment property. Like, that's just money coming in. That's just cakewalk money. Like, that is your trip to Tahiti. That is your trip with your homegirls to the French Polynesian on a humbug on a Tuesday because you feel like you're getting flown out in a private jet. that should be just money sitting there. So the fact that she needs it shows you that she's financially unwell.
Right.
And I was like, well, I didn't think about that, because you think about, like, maybe that is supplementing how she lives her day-to-day life. So while for me it's like, oh, how dare you want her? Maybe she legitimately needs it. Who knows?
But remember, there was a whole crash in investments and Wall Street and whatever else just a few years ago. So people had still been recovering, and here we are again crashing again.
Listen, luckily I don't have a 401k, so you can't crash zero.
Oh,
so
listen,
I was like,
I haven't even looked at my 401k.
Oh, my husband was hugging his about to cry the other night. He was like, it crashed X amount of dollars. Like, put that computer away. It's not going to help you now. Like, put it away.
No, not even looking at what it is. Not even.
Listen, mine started at 0 and it's at 0 right now. And I'm like, one less thing to worry about. Like, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
One less thing to worry about.
I look at, okay, like Althea, massage therapist. She segment
That's Healing
sponsor.
Hands, right?
Yep, Healing Heavenly Hands. You know, there's two sides to it, and big ups to Althea. Thank you for sponsoring the previous segment. But I'll get into the formalities of that later on. She can't get any more, and she's not taking, not that she can't get any, she's not taking any new clients right now. You know, because she's
it's not worth the risk.
No, not touching anybody. Sorry. And whereas that touch helps people, no doubt, because we cannot touch each other.
Right.
You know, we're going to have to find a way to, you know, either you're going to call her up on the phone and let her tell you how to use that wall to get that massage, to get that kink out of your shoulder or something. You know, whatever it is going to be, you know, it becomes a consultancy and not a hands-on experience. But come on, you know, I have Dr. Jenny Stone, Dr. J Love, who used to be my co-host for Healthy Love. She pops in every now and then as a chiropractor. You know, there are people out there that are having serious problems and need to go see a chiropractor. You know, she's a doctor. You know, she's cutting down on the amount of clients that she will see in any given period of time, because you have to minimize the exposure. These are the little things that people just kind of overlook, because the big thing is, well, COVID-19 is here and you don't want to be breathing in spaces where there's a lot of people, so wear a mask. What? Breathing? So you have to go into Walmart and hold my breath? You know, wear a mask, you know. But come on, the interaction is gone. I had to stop in Walmart today, and I looked down, and there it was, the little stickers, 6 feet. You know, and there was a lady who was in front of me, and she had her shopping cart, and she looked around at me. I wasn't like directly on her, behind her, but she looked at me and she's like, look at the spot, you're not at the spot. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like,
she's wearing a mask, mind you. And I'm like,
mask,
you know what?
And gloves, touching everything in the store. So today I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I was in the store. I was at Walmart today. I went to get something, and like, you have on gloves, touching your cart, touching your face, touching your hair, touching your shoes, touching all the vegetables for the produce section.
Yes.
With the same pair of gloves. You should be taking off, touch one thing, take the glove off, change it. So you're not even actually.
They don't know how to use the gloves.
Oh, like, my life. What are you doing?
And not only do they not know how to use the gloves, they don't know how to take them off. Because they're taking them off, and then whatever is on those gloves, they're touching it and thinking, okay, I was wearing gloves throughout this whole time, I don't have to wash my hands. No, because you just took those gloves off. Now you need to wash your hands because you took them off wrong. And they're using the gloves to adjust the mask. Didn't you just touch 50 million different things just now?
Listen, like, I be confused. I'm out here looking like y'all in these COVID streets playing games with your lives. Like, you're better off sitting at home and ordering DoorDash. Like, you're really better off in that way.
Yes. Someone
or
asked the
like
question.
not washing your hands.
Yeah.
Like, so where? Okay, I'm gonna go on a soapbox. I'm hopping on right now.
Okay,
So
go.
before March 1st, y'all wasn't washing y'all hands. You weren't wiping your butt. Like, what was going on before March 1st, 2020? But I have some real questions. Like, these are my therapist questions. I don't understand. You wasn't wiping your butt before March 1st? You weren't washing your hands before March 1st? What was going on before March 1st, 2020 in the United States?
This is actually one of your therapist questions.
There are videos of people telling you how to wash your hands. Like, I've watched videos on how to wash my hands that are, like, trending with millions of views.
Yes, trending.
I know kindergartners know how to wash their hands. Like, they will sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars.
Yeah.
You have to explain to adults how long 20 seconds is.
Yeah.
You got to show adults how to clean between their fingers and actually wash their hands. That suds and soap is a good
Listen.
thing. Like, these are things that are happening.
It was a whole news special. How about that?
Kev, like, I was on Facebook, and it was like a video of how to wash it that had over 1 million views. And I'm like, so y'all nasty folks wasn't washing y'all hands before March 1st?
Right. That's why we're sick now.
Don't touch me after Corona. Don't touch me.
That's why we're
You
sick
elbow
now.
hook. Oh, like I'm still to this day confused. And I know that I'm confused and bothered. You wasn't washing your hands before March 1st?
But see, that's the reality of the situation, and people are now so conscious, quote unquote, conscious about what
And they talk about island
is happening
folks. Like,
around
they
them.
talk about, like, Americans, and mind you, I love this country. I'm glad to have been born here. But my little cultural Haitian roots, like, we some clean folks. So you Americans out here just not washing your hands at all, or cleaning your meat or seasoning it for that matter, while we're talking about things like spread viruses. Y'all wasn't cleaning your meat neither? Like, what is going on in these 2020 streets? I'm confused.
Well, and then you have the other set. You have the set that decide that, okay, they're going to make sure that they have their hand sanitizer. And everything is all about hand sanitizer.
But if your hands are dirty,
What are you
so
sanitizing?
you're just rubbing alcohol on your hands because you can't clean dirt. You got to wash the dirt off.
Thank you.
That's like washing your car with water only.
So,
It just got wet.
yeah, you just rained on it, basically.
You have moist dirt now. You have moist alcohol dirt on your hands.
These are the little things, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I did a whole show on, part of my show last night, the health show, was on disinfectants and cleaning surfaces. And you have the other set of people who are killing themselves because they've gotten so clean conscious that they got their bleach and their hydrogen peroxide, or they have the peroxide and vinegar.
They're causing like gas explosions in their homes.
Yeah. So either they're going to cause an explosion, or they're going to create some poisonous gas in the name of cleaning a surface, because they don't want to get COVID that they brought into the house because they wore their gloves outside and touched everything.
But also, like, how are you cleaning before March 1st? Like, before March 1st, what were you using to clean your homes and your bodies?
See, that doesn't matter now.
Maybe it's just a matter of, like, just actual, literal, and proverbial cleansing of, like, soap and water for the United States. And we're making light of this, guys, because this is what you do when they're in pandemic, is you laugh or you cry. So we're not, like, completely heartless. But it's funny.
Yeah. It's these things. And my other concern is, and I'm pretty sure that it is, for some, yet again, a concern relating to the social distancing. Schools are closed down, and there's the belief also that there will be coming a vaccination mandate. So now that becomes another concern. Are my children going to have to get this yet another vaccination in order for them to go and socialize and be in physical school?
I mean, I'm not one for the vaccination conversation because I take my vaccines because I just don't want to be dead. That's me personally. Like, I'd rather cough
Yeah.
for a couple of days than be dead. So I know the flu gives you the vaccine gives you the flu. I'd rather cough for 4 days than have a pulmonary complication with my already immunocompromised body and die. So I would, you know what I mean? Like, there's a risk with everything. But the reward of getting to live, a little longer, for me, makes sense. I
And
know there are those who are
there,
opposed to
right.
that.
There's a debate of vaccinations and how many you're getting and what is in the vaccination and so looking at it just there, because I don't want to get into that debate right now, because it's a thing. I've been doing whole shows on it and stuff. So, but there's that too, and you have that set of people who that's a real concern, and it's again directly linked to the position that we're in, where we cannot socialize. But here it is again with us being social beings, and this being a virus that there's a patent on it. And if there's a patent on it, then it is not something that is occurring naturally. This is something that is created. No.
I didn't know there was a patent on it.
What?
I be living under a rock. I'm not a news lover, buffer, watch. I live my real life every regular day by myself. Like,
Jess, I went searching. I found a U.S. patent on coronavirus.
What? Send me the link.
And I found a European patent on a coronavirus vaccine. I posted both of them on social media.
I'll look at it.
Both links just this past week.
I'll go look for it.
And so you have those now that is a real concern for them. And they're because we have a tendency to live in the future, totally missing out on just being present. And would you say that is a big source of our anxiety that contributes to, like, what, 75% of our anxiety? Living.
Yeah, I don't know the percentage, but I would definitely like to contribute factor.
Yeah, just tossing something out there. Just to put things into perspective. And we just miss out on being present. The right now, in this moment where, yes, we're looking at our children, and yeah, they're driving us up the wall, but this is my child. And I get an opportunity to shape this child in the way that I would love to see them growing up. And not make it not depend on a system that I have a problem with.
Right.
Totally missing out on being present in that moment to make that happen. But we're stressing.
Again, shameless therapist plug. Like, I've sat with my clients for the past 3 weeks and made plans for them to find moments to enjoy their family, like things that you would miss out on regularly. Like, you can watch your son or daughter in class communicating with their peers.
Yeah.
You don't have that bird's eye view normally. Like, you don't have the opportunity to be in a room in a meeting with your people and your kid be in the room with you. Like, learn to enjoy that. Like,
yeah,
take lunch breaks together. Go outside on the patio and eat. Like, really have an opportunity to live.
Yeah, a lot of couples, they don't know what their significant others, how they actually do their job. They talk and say, how was your day, and this happened and that happened, but they have a general idea of something happening. But some of them are working from home, and then they get the opportunity, like y'all get an opportunity to really see what the other one, how they get through their workday, and how they interact with their clients or their co-workers, and it's a whole new experience. And it's a beautiful thing. Well, it can be a beautiful thing.
It can.
But then you have those that everything happens outside the house. And they're 10 minutes together after eating and taking a shower and getting and so between the shower and falling asleep, that 10 minutes together is their life. and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do whatever. And it comes back to what you said earlier. You have the one that was bringing in the money and the one that just looked cute.
Mhm.
And that was it.
Mhm.
So now,
But there's also a time now to find substance in those relationships, to create substance, to find commonality, to remember your why, and why beyond that person being cute did you choose to be with this person forever, and say till death do you part. You have an opportunity to rediscover the person that your spouse has grown into, should you so choose to do that.
or an opportunity to actually get to know that other
Mhm.
person in the house or those other people in the house. A lot of people don't know their children. A lot of
I've
children
gotten a
don't
lot
know
of
their
that.
parents.
I've gotten a lot of that from my clients. Oh my gosh, my son is so bright. Oh my gosh, my husband's so good, such and such. Like, oh my gosh, my wife is so this. Like, I've gotten a lot of that. And that
Yeah.
has been like making my little therapist start to go pitter patter. As much as there's been like complaints and barriers to things that weren't there before, there's been such a level of gratitude of, oh my gosh, like, I really do have an amazing family. Like, it's beautiful to hear
Mm-hmm.
and to watch people like evolve in that way.
So as a therapist, and as you get out of here, because I'm gonna move into musical therapy in a minute.
And I'm going to move into my bed in another minute. Like,
Right? You've given us more than you had initially planned to, and I truly appreciate of it. I always do. You know that.
of course.
As our therapist, the superheroes therapist, what would you say to us as we move into this next phase of social distancing?
Get a therapist. And that's not like, I'm not saying come to my practice. If you want to, that's fine. We have 11 amazing clinicians. That would be great. But get to someone, find something that you can kind of like check out into that is a relief, a spot for you to kind of take a deep breath, to kind of tap out for a moment. So you can kind of be in this moment, living your real life with your family around you and be able to enjoy that, to process your unresolved stuff, to kind of get through mental and creative blocks. Maybe you had a business you wanted to birth for years and you didn't have time, and now you have an opportunity to kind of process creatively what you need to get done and have the time. There's the Small Business Association is doing hundreds of webinars a day right now for free for people who are trying to launch business, keep the businesses, afloat and viable. Like, spend this time getting to know yourself, getting to
Right,
know
right.
those around you, getting to learn to love yourself and all of your parts, all the aspects of you. And I think that I know that therapy is vital for that. Both as a practitioner and a recipient, it is life changing. So if you want to be able to affect how you respond to what's happening to you, to extend your locus of control beyond just an emotional response to a news article or being locked in your home with your family, meet with somebody, have an opportunity to sit down and kind of reframe that. Even if it's short term through an EAP, or you just meet with somebody 3 or 4 times for half an hour, whatever they have offering, in order to kind of get you to where you're at, back at a stable baseline, or kind of back to whatever your new normal is going to be.
Right.
Take this opportunity, maximize on it. Like, find somebody who is going to be able to serve and help you on your journey to healing, whether that's financial healing, whether that's the healing of realizing, oh my gosh, I was a lawyer for years. I'm about to start working at Aldi's to keep my life in order. Like, it's going to go from $7,500 to maybe $17 for whatever it is. I'm going to continue to use my skills and be helpful.
Right.
But I like, therapy is important. And then also, like, watch out for scammers. And that sounds like real, but at the end of the day, like, there are those who are opportunists.
Yeah.
And that's in every field, therapists included. And I'm not saying that because I think that we're bad people, but I think that people who are also looking at the idea of not having their next meal may try and be an opportunist. So, like, ask questions. interview therapists, like figure out, you know what I mean? Like really figure out if this is a good fit for what you need.
How can people get in touch with you?
You guys can go to swsocialsupport.com or on Instagram or on Facebook, and that's swsocialsupport. Looking for me directly, it's JessJefferson.com or the Jess Jefferson on all social media platforms. Or you can give me a call on my business cell, 954-225-9851. And we have a myriad of therapists that deal with a myriad of things. So maybe I'm not the person to help you. Maybe you're a man dealing with men's issues and generational traumas. You need to see Adajare or Antoine, for instance. We have someone that can help and be able to kind of navigate through what's happening with you, like just to collaborate with you. So once again, that's swsocialsupport.com on Instagram and on Facebook, SW Social Support, the Jess Jefferson on all social media platforms, and 954-225-9851. If you can't find me, Kev can.
Yeah, that I can. If I can do nothing else, I can find Jess.
Thank you so much for having me. I always appreciate an opportunity. I know my invitation is always open, but it feels special when you call and you're like, hey, can you swing by tonight? It's always special to be invited. So I thank you for trusting me on your platform with your audience to be a source of information. And I hope people were uplifted. If you have questions about any of that, you can feel free to call me and just say, hey, Jess, can you clarify what you meant by, like, I'm available, we're available, we're here.
Yeah. And I thank you, Jess, for being available and coming on and sharing not only professionally but personally. You know, it really helps to connect the dots with what we're dealing with.
Absolutely. And it's my pleasure. I will talk to you next time. Be well. God bless you. Good night.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jess Jefferson, the superhero's therapist, and don't take it lightly. we laugh and we play around and we joke around a little bit as we go through and talk about the material and the information in it. But you know, it's real. It's real talk, and we're looking at real issues. And tonight we were looking at the social distancing effects, and I still have information. I have some stuff that I had found to present, but none of it came close to hearing directly from someone who is hands-on in it. You know, there are so many aspects to the front line, and dealing with people on a psychological level is right up there with those who are turning on the breathing machines. You know, the ventilators. Therapists are right up there with those nurses, those doctors who are running the tests, who are treating those who are hospitalized. You know, there's the other side of it where it's coming out on social media where people are seeing just body bags in hospitals. These things are coming out in social media, and they're wondering what is really going on, because you're not hearing this on the news, but you're seeing it on social media. You know, who is not telling the truth? Are the ones who are putting it out there on social media. They're making things up and putting them out there, and this is something else that is being tagged on to this, just like how the beginning of this whole coronavirus thing was linked to a woman having bat soup, and this woman had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the coronavirus, because this was a picture from 4 years prior. But yet still, they associated this picture with the virus. One has nothing to do with the other. So, you know, people are wondering, you know, are these images coming out on social media, are they real? You know, is this really happening? We don't hear it in the news, but is it real? One thing to take into consideration, it was something that I grew up hearing quite a bit. If it don't go so, it go near so. For those of you who don't understand patois, if that's not the way it goes, there's something very close to it that is a truth. So, I'm going to leave our real talk at that. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to get into our musical therapy. But before I do that, let me just do some housekeeping and say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, covering North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you with her table and oils, and she does an amazing job. Sorry, you may have to wait until the social distancing is all taken care of before she can come and see you, but you can still give her a call. 954-655-9000, 954-655-9000, or email her at thealater@att.net. Get your spot all lined up so that she can come and take care of you. There are a lot of people who will be stressed and tense in this time and when this time passes. Thanks to Reggae Global Entertainment, Reggae Global will take care of your booking needs, your publishing, your copyrights, your trademarks, your business registration, your legal service referrals. Just give them a call and they will tell you how best they can help you or direct you in the right send you in the right direction. 954-998-8034. That's 954-998-8034. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to get into musical therapy. All right? We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us. 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us. 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin Stew and the Night Shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin Stew believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the Night Shift radio show. Christine, just heart it up loud.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Enough is enough. Dirty virus. Vicious 19 Dirty virus. Vicious 19 Ever since that day you came on this earth, you cause us pain, you make us hurt. Yes, we've been blind, but now the world can see. You're not alone around here, so take your owners and flee. Watch when a Lucifer, yo, dirty virus. Vicious 19 you know, welcome round here. Dirty virus. Where you from? Vicious 19 carry some of them oppressors when you leave. You like an evil spirit, you locked us down. We could not make one single sound. But like a yard man, we'll use the words and free the nation, free as the birds. Together we'll chant dirty virus. And that's a good word. Vicious 19
This is turning out to be the chant of 2020.
Vicious 19
The sound of Ed Robinson.
Right now, I'm gonna tell you, listen up. Our doctors and nurses, your respect is still. Keep on, fight the fight till the last one heal. So until that day when we can congregate, keep on, share this love, but let the virus kill the hate. So until then, let's chant dirty virus. I hope you know we have some more class. Vicious 19 You think we can stop us from put them together? Dirty virus. Vicious 19 Yo, I know for sure some mainstream woodlands won't play this one on their radios. But who round ya care? We never need them then, so we don't need them now. Hey fool, got us, yo. A long time you remind we of these germs, yeah. Dirty virus. How you want me to call your right name? Vicious 19 I'm not interested in remembering your name. Dirty virus. Your friend swine. Vicious 19 We are trying to drown you.
For those of you who are not aware, this is our musical therapy. As we close out the night shift week, this is Christina Alicia. It's called Love Liberation. Love Liberation.
No more will we be used to play the fool and
Christina Lisa working out with Tasha T. Love Liberation remix.
Last night, she called me on the phone, asking will I be coming home.
This is Kirk Davis. Many know him as Little Kirk. The track is called That's the Way Love Goes.
Her body's gone and me, but I was lying in that girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never closed my phone. Still love on the side, and I could never tell her where I've been, because I know it hurts to be with rain. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way I go. I try to explain, she don't believe a word I say. I'm cheating and she's hurt. It's getting on her nerves. She asked me why and where did she go wrong. She said she thought this love was strong. She didn't know that all along that I was lying in a man's girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never crossed my phone. But there I was, still love on the side, and I could never tell her where I've been, because I know it hurts to be with them. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way I go. Baby, I know that I've done you wrong, but you should know that it's still wrong. Sure, I want you there, and that's no lie. You're the girl, you're the woman, you're the love of my life. I was lying in that girl's arms. Selfish of me, she never crossed my phone. But there I was, still love on the side. I could never tell her where I've been, because I know it hurts to be with pain. Oh, I love her so. Sometimes that's the way love goes. Last night, she called me on the phone, asking will I be coming home. She's feeling all alone.
Look, you know, look and tell me what you see. I Jordan it say, no negativity, positive be a friend. Love is the answer.
This is the sound of Jadon.
Love is the way.
It's called I Got Love.
Love, I miss still one more, and I got love, love.
From the album 369.
Make it a grow, I got love, love. I miss still one more, and I got love.
We're gonna have Jadon chatting with us come Monday. All being well.
Me I tell them straight so, me still I love them although me them hate. My mother tell me say love are the greatest, and them not go like me 'cause me too straight. But me not care, no, no. On me life I swear, yeah, yeah. Never hate, nor grudge. I just love. I got love, love. I me still want more, and I got love, love. And I jam make it a grow. I got love, and look ya now, oh, and look ya. Hey, yes, it's a boy Jordan Congo Bongo himself, and I represent for Kevin Stew on the night shift. City and Kamola vibes. Yes, I. Look ya now, look and tell me what you see. A Jordan it is, no negativity, positive me a pray. Love is the answer. Love is the way. I got love, and me still want more. And I got love, and I just make it a grow. I got love, and me still want more. And I got love, and I just make it a grow. Me I tell them straight so, me still I love them although me them hate. My mother tell me say love are the greatest, and them not go like me cause me too straight. But me not care, no. On me life I swear, yeah. Never hate, nor grudge. I just love. I got love. And me still want more. And I got love. And I just make it a grow. I got love. And me still want more. And I got love. And I just make it a grow. Love is the answer. So I eat Jordan a sponsor. To the thugs and the gangster, to the police and the soldier. Man them when no know ya. And if you are evil supporter, at this you fit take a note. The love that you're searching for is right within you. I got love. And me still want more. And I got love. And I just make it a grow. I got love. And me still want more. And I got love. And I just make it a grow. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Look and tell me what you see. Love is the answer. No negativity, positive me a pray. Love is the way. I got love.
As it ups, as it downs, you get me on my knees.
This is the sound of Hezron
Lift me up,
for all the Hezites.
what the
It's called Stronger in Love. Working out with the Anthem Band.
You the rough and the tough, and you never said you had enough. You took away my heavy load and shared it to your shoulders. Life ain't guaranteed much, but you came with more than enough. You filled and overflow the cup, baby. It's your love. Your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. Your love keeps me stronger and stronger.
As we get out of here tonight, I want to remind y'all to spread some love. That's the real virus that you want going around. Love. Look out for members of your community, and your community is not just the development that you live in, it spreads far and wide. As you can see, each and every one is affected by this virus right now. One community. Those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, maintain your social distance, but understand that these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today. You never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 to midnight, live right here on kevinstew.com. It's a place where we learn to have acceptance through enlightenment. The sound of the late ideology. Yeah, died tragically in a bicycle accident. This was what, just a week ago? The track is called Pumpkin Belly.
So we do music and so we make it. Oh, what a walk, oh, a pumpkin belly, you don't know. You never yet plant a seed and reap when it a grow.
As I get out of here for the remainder of this week, I do want to encourage you to be good. But if you can't be good, well, you just got to be good at it. I'll catch you Monday. Community and Finance. You get to catch up with Jadon. He just released an album, 369. If you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. With some good reviews in the news about Jadon. You get to talk to him on Monday. In the meantime, as we try to maintain social distances, I wish you all the best with that.
I've been really trying.
Because I've been trying.
Trying to hold back this feeling for so.
This is the uncommissioned remix. Jonah Marie working out with Marvin Gaye.
Like I feel, baby. Then
hush, darling, hush.
Come on. Woo! Let's get it on.
Hey babe, this is Joanne Lily, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew. We're gonna lay it on, bright and early, 'cause the heat is on, yeah. And I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on.
priceless? Consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.